Hey guys, so it's here bringing you another video. Now today is another episode of League Discussion. This is the series where I take a topic, I rip it apart with my own opinions and experiences, and encourage you guys to join in the conversation in the comments section below. Now before we get into today's topic, I just want to quickly say, for a while now, I've wanted to maybe change League Discussion a little bit. You know, this is the default format that I'm just sitting in front of camera, unscripted, just talking about something. And basically, I'm open to change. So if you've got any suggestions for the series, put them in the comments section below, as I will be looking down there. As, who knows, I might put this over gameplay, or I might do like make them into actual guides. I'm not really sure. I quite like the format of just talking, but I'm open to change. So again, comment section below, put your suggestions down there. Now today, we are talking about Ranked 5s, or everything about it. So Ranked 5s, tournament play, that type of thing, as a lot of people seem to be interested in Ranked 5s, but very few people actually do it. And as speaking from somebody that has played Ranked 5s on and off for a few years at a pretty high level, I thought I'd give my say into the matter. So today, just to say, a lot of what I'm about to say is from my own experiences rather than just opinions. You know, I've been in tournaments, I've won tournaments, I've come second in a lot of tournaments, and I've also dealt with some of the negative things that come with being in Ranked 5s also, which I'm going to start with. So although Ranked 5s is very, very fun, the problem is you have 5 people that are probably quite competitive, all probably trying to give their opinion or trying to show each other up. Now, if you're a friend group, it's probably different. You know, I play Ranked 5s with my friends as well, and we simply have fun. But if you're playing a competitive level that you want to do tournaments and things, very often you want to be the one that's doing well. Therefore, you know, egos and stuff can get in the way, but it very much is like a pyramid effect that one over the other tries to do better than the last person, which is not always a bad thing because it pushes yourself to do better, but sometimes it does lead to conflict. And that is basically my first point, how to deal with conflict. Conflict is inevitable, that's the first thing to say in Ranked 5s in my opinion. In every single team I've been with, there has been some type of conflict, whether it's just a little discussion, whether it's an argument. It happens. People, you know, humans are humans. It happens on the, you know, football field. It's going to happen in League of Legends. Now, in my opinion, the best way to deal with it is simply talk about it. The worst thing you can do is brush it under the carpet and pretend that it doesn't exist, because problems do exist, and if you leave them, they're only going to get bigger over time. So make sure you talk about your problems, and hopefully all of you are mature and you can act like adults, that you can just have an open conversation about it. And this can be anything from somebody is playing bad, they need to improve, or some people may not like champion picks that people are doing. It can be anything, but just make sure you deal with it in a mature way, as sometimes it can get a bit out of hand. So that is the first point, is dealing with conflict. The next point is make sure you're in the correct team environment. As speaking from somebody that isn't toxic, that isn't a rager, I can safely say that I will never want to be in a team with that type of person, and neither should you. Now, obviously, it is a bit different if you yourself is toxic or a rager. I'd probably just say work on fixing yourself rather than joining a team at the moment. But if you do find you're in a Ranked 5s team and somebody is being toxic, someone is being a rager, firstly, you can talk about it, and if they react in the wrong way, maybe it's time for either you to leave that team or them to leave that team, because most of the time it really isn't worth it. You know, League of Legends, after all, is a game. And even though you might want to do tournaments, you might want to do all this stuff, if you're not having fun, what's the point? So that is the second point. Make sure you're having fun, and if you're not, get out or get the person out that is, you know, preventing that from occurring. The next point is realize your goals. I think it's pretty important that every single team, when it first starts out, should probably have the goals kind of highlighted to all the members. That, is this going to be just for fun? Is this going to be just for Ranked 5s? Or do we actually want to enter tournaments? There is a fair amount of differences between these three. You know, fun is simply have fun. Play whatever you want. Go for pentakills. Go for wombo combo. Ranked 5 is a bit different. You know, you go a bit more seriously. But then tournaments is very different, because then you're scouting enemies. You're making team comps. You're limiting your champion pool to try and be the best you possibly can be. So just make sure your goals are set and react accordingly. You know, if you're playing for fun, you don't really need to do anything. If you're playing Ranked 5s, maybe limit your champion pool a little bit and make sure you're only playing one role in ranked 5s. Don't keep swapping around. And then in tournament play, obviously you're taking it quite seriously, that you should have probably top 3 champions in each role for your specific role, and probably sorting out some type of team compositions. And then also when you're in a tournament, it's a lot of scouting enemy teams, banning out what they're good at, etc. Now the next point is basically ranked 5s and everything tournament play is realize when you're good enough for tournaments if you do want to take part. As speaking from somebody that has taken part in tournaments when I was quite bad at League of Legends and now taking part in tournaments and actually winning them, I can tell you it's a lot more fun when you're doing well. And League of Legends has progressed since when I started playing in tournaments. When I started playing in tournaments, very often a platinum team could win. You know, there weren't many diamond teams around back then in season 3 or 2. So it was quite often that a platinum team would most likely win because there may be only 1 or 2 diamond teams in the whole tournament. If you do enter a tournament like Go for LOL or any of the Battleground tournaments, which my team just won, you're going to be up against challenger teams, master teams, and diamond teams, and they're the ones that are most likely going to win. So I wouldn't enter crazy tournaments. Now, the thing is to say, if you're not a great player, there are tournaments for you as well that a player like me can't enter. There are definitely bronze to gold tournaments out there. You've just got to do a bit of searching. I can recommend, just to say, if you are part of the League of Legends UK, if you live in the UK, the LOL Facebook group for the UK have a tournament, I think, every month for people that are below gold. So that could be good practice. And obviously there are a lot of tournaments out there for, you know, good teams, diamond teams, master teams or whatever. But yeah, tournaments are fun. That's the first thing to say. Now, the next point is communication. Sorry, by the way, this video is a very listed video, but I just want to get through as many points as possible. The next point is communication. This is probably the biggest difference that is from solo queue to ranked 5s, apart from one other thing. But communication is very important. If you're playing ranked 5s, you have to be on some type of team communication, whether it's Skype, TeamSpeak, Vent, whatever it is. You have to talk to each other. That is the whole point of playing a team ranked 5s game. That's where you get your advantage. But saying this, also team communication can sometimes be a bad thing, as very much you can use the analogy, too many cooks, you know, cooking in the pot. There should only be a couple of people speaking at a time because it can become very messy. So this is where you probably want to nominate 1 or 2 people at specific times of the game to talk. Whether that's your jungler and support for the early game, and then your mid laner is confident enough to take over shot calling in late game. You have to work it out for yourselves. You know, speaking again from experience, whenever I've played ranked 5s, a lot of you will know I play with Fi. He's a fellow YouTuber, partnered with Cloud9. He mainly does the shot calling when I play in ranked 5s teams. He's an AD carry, but he's just good at shot calling. You know, I've been a jungler, I'm now a mid laner, but when I've jungled, technically I should be shot calling, but Fi has been better than me, so he does it. Anybody can shot call, but just make sure you do have a specific person doing it. Now, that also, you have to get over sounding stupid. No, basically you've got to commit. You know, when you watch LCS and they do the mic things, or you watch my tournament games and stuff, you will hear us basically act really dumb. You know, the whole thing of, if we want to kill a specific person, like Lulu, then we'll shout, Lulu, 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 you know, until she's dead, because that is the target that everybody wants to prioritize. It sounds really dumb, but it works. So yeah, don't be scared of sounding dumb. You'll get over it, and once you're in the game, all the adrenaline and everything takes over. So you won't even think about it. And then finally, what I want to talk about is the differences in teamer play than solo queue, because there's the big difference that a lot of you are going to experience is the difference, you know, you're a solo queue player now playing in ranked 5s. Basically, you've got to work as a team. That's pretty obvious to say. If you're not working as a team, then there's no point playing ranked 5s. You've got to prioritize targets on your team to get kills that would probably help you win the game the most. In solo queue, I always say carry yourself. Take the kills yourself if you trust yourself. Where in ranked 5s, you should trust your team. If you don't trust your team, there's no point playing with them because you probably don't think they're good enough or whatever. It's kind of like the double lift CLG effect in essence. So make sure you trust your team and make sure you're giving the kills to the people that can carry the game. Never leave a kill, basically, that if it could get away, just take it. But if it's 100% a kill, give it to the people that matter in the most, you know, to do damage. So the AD carry and the mid laner. So that's pretty much it. That's kind of some advice I just have for ranked 5s really quickly. The last thing to kind of say is a lot of people will probably be in the comment section, how do I actually find a ranked 5s team? As it's something, personally, I would recommend you to do. If you want to become a better League of Legends player, ranked 5s does that for you. It gives you confidence of playing in ranked with other people, but it actually doesn't put your solo rating on the line. So you can try hard, you can try new things, but you're not actually going down in solo rating, but you're still playing ranked where everybody is like trying instead of normal where practically nobody really tries. So I definitely recommend it. And where you find a team, there's different places. It's a bit different from me than maybe some of you guys, because if you're a little bit known within your own community, like the UK esports scene for me, I can find people, I can find a team fairly easy because I've been around for a long time. For you guys at home that have never played in tournaments or a lower rating, the biggest thing that I can advise, the 2 places I would go, firstly, the forums, any type of forum. There will be a subreddit for finding a team. There's Summoner School that maybe you can meet some new people, and the League of Legends boards. And then the second place, which a lot of people don't think about, is if you're playing solo queue and you see there's a good person, he's friendly, he's really nice, add him after the game and ask him, hey, do you play for a team? Do you need a player? Or do you want to make a team with me? And build a network of players from solo queue. It's pretty simple and it's a very effective way of doing it. It's very often how challenger teams are actually formed nowadays. Because they just, you know, challenger players and diamond players get to know each other very well because we play with each other so often that we just get to know each other and form teams through solo queue. So that's pretty much it. Again, if you've got any questions regarding ranked 5s or anything about this series in particular, feel free in the comment section to put it, as I will be reading every single comment. Just to kind of say, as I want to mention this more often in videos now, I can't respond to every single question that you guys have. That's just impractical. But I will say, if you've asked me questions in videos and I've never ever responded to you, it's not that I probably don't want to. Just check that I'm actually able to. There are some YouTube accounts that I actually can't click reply to your question or your comment because you may not have Google Plus or anything attached to your account. Therefore, I can't respond to you. So just double check that as well. So thanks very much for watching. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't. And I'll see you guys next time. See ya.